Hello, this is Eileen, the environmental educator, and in this video we're going to talk about another environmental voice that is giving, the word environmental a bad name because they say that she is out virtue signaling, and that is the Spanish environmental minister who biked to a climate conference with escort of gas cars. So right here, banned news network that bans quality environmental information, which wouldn't just, mock these leaders, but would give you good information to take us to the sustainable future that we actually need, regardless of the ridiculousness of the leaders. Mike Adams, Alex Jones, I should have the video lined up. I've played it before. We're going to take you to a sustainable world. No, they're not. And they won't give you good environmental information, but they'll come out here and they'll, mock this lady. And this actually is right here, a Zero Hedge article. And this article was covered a bunch of places, that guy gets his work put out there. But, InfoWars was happy to mock this lady. There's a news station here. They say that, Sky News Australia, they say another example of climate hypocrisy, where here she has, here's her lead car, here's her follow car, but she's riding a bike to a climate conference. And actually, as this headline here on the street says that the minister rode it 328 feet for a photo op, which they say backfired. And it says that people are claiming she flew private and used limos to attend the summit. Her office has contradicted that, but let's take a look here at Banned News Network, who Alex Jones will not give you good environmental news, but copy communist-style propaganda and virtue signaling. We're out in full force Tuesday when Spanish environmental minister Teresa Ribera, R-I-B-E-R-A, allegedly traveled by a private jet and then hopped onto an electric bicycle while being escorted by gas-powered vehicles to a climate summit held by the European Union. And so a bunch of people, took to Twitter, criticized it. Here's another one in Spanish, I believe. So this article ends with what I've told these environmental voices for a long time now. They could have had a Zoom meeting rather than traveling in private jets to climate conferences. But they say that Ribera's staged photo op indicates that political elites believe the intelligence of the average voter is lacking. However, people are waking up to this nonsense. And so, see, that's the problem with anybody actually taking anything about the environment seriously, because global warming or not is irrelevant. The thing is that, as I say here, everything that is said to create global warming causes so many other problems that it's just responsible to live responsibly, to reduce by reusing the two highest levels of the environmental hierarchy. So, and I say, why take the chance with destructive storms that could be because of our emissions when these emissions are so easy to prevent? And you can still have a 21st century life. Okay, we can just do it not abusively. But none of these leaders and no environmental voice, if you've been around here before, it is everybody. And right now, that really includes, not just Greta the Fraud, Gore, okay, but, Bobby Kennedy. Bobby Kennedy, I didn't even list him here because there was other bigger environmental names. I don't have space for everything, but, Bobby Kennedy has been refusing solutions since 98 himself. Bobby himself, aware of this, okay? And he can't be bothered. His campaign today is putting out a Mickey Mouse agenda in comparison to this. And then we have, Alex Jones reinforcing to you that this is all just nonsense, even though him and Mike Adams will say that, they're giving people information to take us to a sustainable future. They're not. And they won't. And they need to, because, 50% of our waterways are too polluted to fish, swim, and drink from. All the toxins, all the chemicals, I talk about it all the time. So I feel like this, sometimes should be called a broken record, because it's the same thing, but nobody will allow solutions. And so I'm not going to play this video. We can just take a look at a few pictures here. So here's a good picture of her lead car and her chase car. And this news report said these people give clowns a bad name. And it brings up when U.S. Secretary of Transportation Pete Buttigieg, he got out of an SUV and then drove a bike to a White House meeting a couple of blocks away. But he got out of an SUV, okay? Just like this lady did. Now, this, the Street article, they have some interesting information here. They say that Teresa Rivera, she rode for at least 100 yards. So up here, right, they say 323 feet. And they say, reports are conflicting, however, according to Falcon Despega, Despega, a Spanish jet tracking site. Rivera flew a military-style private plane to the summit and was then escorted by limousines to the location of the summit, roughly 100 yards before arriving at the destination. However, she stopped and hopped out of the limo and got aboard a green e-bike as cameras were rolling. Her escort appears to have stayed with her. Her security stayed with her. Of course they did. But, right, they say she's out here for the cameras. Clown World is the name of that post. And then the government asked that, they stop the bullies right here. And, they said that, Rivera's team insisted she did not use a private jet to get to the summit and was already in the area, which is over 120 miles from Madrid, where she works. But they said, she did not travel by plane, commercial or institutional, and attended the summit. It said that they urged people to stop paying attention to false news spread by those in bad faith. But the article says, private plane or not, the now viral video has been seen over 7 million times. It was picked up by major news outlets, including the Wall Street Journal. And, so yeah, now members and officials of the Partido Popular, a right-wing Spanish party, condemned Rivera's move as embarrassing. They said to go to the meeting on her bike, she went with an official car in front of her and behind her, creating double the emissions so people would take photos of her, is what the People's Party politician Pons Gonzalez tweeted. How ridiculous, minister. Are you embarrassed? And, she should be. Probably they don't have enough sense. Well, actually, they probably do. They just don't care. They don't have to. They're in charge. And what are you going to do about it? And the thing is that if Alex Jones would do his job and report on what isn't being done and by who, which is all of these leaders, which even includes Bobby Kennedy, who Alex Jones and Mike Adams just can't fall all over enough, and James O'Keefe. Okay, if Bobby Kennedy got out here and said, hey man, listen, this is what hasn't been happening, and my agenda that these nitwits who I pal around with put in front of me, it's absolutely ridiculous, and there's light years better out there. But Bobby Kennedy right now is too busy protecting himself from what he has refused to do since '98, while proclaiming he is just a godsend to the environment. He's also protecting Gore. He's protecting all of his environmental voice friends, including in Hollywood, including his sister, who was the Oscar governor when Gore did not get to be a finalist the second time, having me prove to the Oscars that Gore is a Preventing Solutions fraud. And sure, it was easy to not have Gore be a finalist because they didn't have to explain it. He just didn't make the cut. But if the Oscars did, if Rory Kennedy did what she still needs to, which is take Gore's first fraudulent Oscar back, then she would have exposed Gore. And Bobby's got to protect Rory too, because Rory is protecting all of these people. So Bobby Kennedy is pretty much everything he hates environmentally, even though he's won a few lawsuits that have done such measly good. Oh my God, I've done the Hudson. I cleaned it up. Really, Bobby? Because 50% of America's waters are too polluted to swim, fish, or drink from. You didn't do anything. You did the Hudson while you have refused to do light years more. And the thing is all of these, people in the whole world, they listen to Alex Jones. And so they just listen to, these people being mocked and having it be called nonsense instead of actually giving the world solutions and doing their job and reporting the truth. But environmentally, that's above, Alex Jones and Mike Adams and Greg Hunter and Lisa Haven and Sean at the SGG Report and Alex Newman and, on Tucker, at least at Fox. I don't know how to get to Tucker now, like he'd care, but if any one of them did their job, then we wouldn't be listening to this ridiculous anymore. We would just actually be on solutions. And that includes if Bobby Kennedy did his job too. So stay tuned, people.